NFL playoffs. We're talking about NFL playoffs. You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdown is the key to winning NFL playoffs, and the key to you scoring big, betting on them at DraftKings, the number one place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something as simple as a player to score six. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app, make your pick. Here's another reason to bet your favorite player to crush it in the playoffs. New customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big during the NFL playoffs with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code MONEYMOVES. That's code MONEYMOVES for new customers to get $200 in bonus bet instantly when you bet just $5. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Nightcap. Y'all know who I am. I'm your favorite Unc, Shannon Sharpe, the Liberty City legend, the Bingo Ring of Fame honoree, the Pro Bowler, the All-Pro, dressed up in his all blinged out. That's Chad Ochocinco Johnson. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that like button. Tell a family, friend, or loved one to do likewise. Subscribe and like. Make sure you go subscribe to the Nightcap podcast feed wherever you get your podcast from. Thank you guys for being so supportive. You've supported us all the way 23, 24, 25, and hopefully you'll continue to support us 25 and beyond. Make sure you check out Shea by Laportier. We do have it in stock. Let's celebrate the new year. What better way to celebrate than with a bottle of Shea by Laportier? Now, if you cannot find it in a city or a state near you, order it. We'll ship it directly to your door. And please drink responsibly. Go follow my media company page on all of its platforms. That's Shay Media. Make sure you tune into Humble Baddies live show tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's their new Netflix show, Wags to Riches, that premiered today. You know, hey, they talk about us, Ocho. So we on there a little bit. So make sure you go check out Humble Baddies live show tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, my clothing company, 84, with 84 being spelled out, our newest releases just dropped last month. Shirts, sweats, beanies, koozies, and mugs. But remember, quantities are limited, so please make sure you grab yours while supplies last. Tickets for the Super Bowl show in New Orleans. This is our first spring tour stop. The tickets are on sale now. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. Unfortunately, the VIP meet and greet tickets are sold out, but there are still many more tickets left for you to attend the big show, February the 6th at the Mahalia Jackson Theater in New Orleans. We got big-time guests coming on. We got a very something else special. Check me out. Check this out, guys. When we announce what's going to happen, the show is going to sell out in a matter of minutes. So I advise you, please listen to me. Now, y'all know I shoot you straight. I don't bull drive you. We got a very, very special feature that's going to happen during the live show. You don't want to miss it. If you're in New Orleans, grab your tickets now. You will not be disappointed. Both Nightcap and Club Shay Shay are both nominated for NAACP Image Award. Nightcap is nominated for the Outstanding Podcast, Art, Sports, and Entertainment. Club Shay Shay was nominated Outstanding Podcast, Society, and Culture. Please go vote for your favorite guys, Unc Ocho. The link is pinned at the top of our social bios. We have a very special guest joining us tonight in a bit, the legendary John Hope Bryant. But first, Ocho, we got these games this weekend. Let's talk about the two-time defending champs, the Chiefs. The Houston Texans might think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs received favorable calls from game officials, but Mahomes doesn't agree. I don't feel that way, Mahomes said. At the end of the day, the referees are doing the best best to call the game as fair and as proper as they possibly can. And all they can do is go out there and play, and all we can do is go out there and play the game that you love as hard as you can and live with the results. I think we preach that here in Kansas City. You get new referees every year. You get new circumstances. You can never really tell because every play is different, and that's what makes the NFL so special. I feel like I've just continued to play the game, and I just try to win. Whatever happens, happens. Kind of happens. Ocho, check this
Yeah.
out. Roughing calls per 100 pass attempts. Uh, Patrick Mahomes receives the fewest. He 63% of the time. Russell Wilson 71% of the time. Baker Mayfield 73% of the time. Cousins 74% of the time. Deshaun Watson 78, Jerry Goff 78, and Josh Allen almost 94%.
Mm. You know what's funny? And
Yes.
now that you broke it down like that, earlier today on Inside NFL, we broke down the numbers. We talked about the same thing about people feeling that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in general got all these calls, and come to find out, it was nothing like that when you look at the numbers in its totality, and they are the least penalized team. As far as Mahomes is concerned, but what I did find out is they're the most penalized offense, the offensive line, the holding calls. They
Yes.
they are at the top of the league in that.
Jawan Watson, the right tackle, has been penalized. They have had 14 accepted penalties on him.
Yeah, on him by himself.
Him alone. You see
Long,
what
yeah.
happens though, Ocho?
Uh-huh.
Facts ruin an argument. Because see, if you point this out, then they go to something else. But
Right.
what about this call?
Mhm.
You're saying they're receiving preferential treatment.
But
But
they're
when we
not.
show you the numbers don't bear that out, then you
No.
have to find something else to argue about.
Exactly. So, and another thing, I will say this too, the Chiefs are continuously always on TV. That's one. They're always
Yes.
in the playoffs. They're always in the AFC Championship. And what I have come to find out is the calls that they do get that go in their favor, it's not that many, but the ones that they do get, they happen at the opportune times where it's advantageous for them in
Right.
an important moment. It's
Yes.
always an important moment. So people take that, they run with it and say, "Oh, they get all the calls." But that's truly not the case. And I thought honestly, and I might be one of them. I would just from the outside looking in, I would say, you know what, God damn, the Chiefs get all the goddamn calls. But when they broke it down today and we're able to look at the numbers and skim through them, I'm like, well,
Not
damn,
even close.
it's not even close to what everybody is saying. But I think it's because they're always on TV, and the few calls that they do get, it always happens in very important times in the game.
Patrick Mahomes has been sacked or knocked down 106 times this season. He's been the beneficiary of 6 roughing the passer calls and 2 unsportsmanlike conduct calls. He gets calls 7% of the time he gets contacted.
Mm.
Now, when you reference that with others, it's
Mhm.
not even close.
Yeah. Now,
It's not even close. But
what
see,
I will,
facts are ruining an argument, Ocho. If I
Mhm.
want to argue with you, I
Yeah,
want to argue with you. Don't give me facts because now you're going to ruin the argument. I won't have anything to argue about.
right. Now,
It's kind of like in a relationship, Ocho. You
mhm.
give the person the facts. No, but still, now they find something else to argue about. No, let's continue to talk about this because this what was in your craw. This
Right.
what was your ruffled your dandruff. This what
Mhm.
got you in a ball.
Right.
Now I give you the facts.
Mhm.
Oh, it's something else.
Mhm. Now,
Go ahead.
another thing I will say. Now, when it comes to Mahomes, the NFL has implemented rules to protect the quarterback.
Yes, all quarterbacks.
All quarterbacks are protected. Now, what I do find Patrick Mahomes doing, and Chad, y'all can agree with me to this, and you can attest to this because we've all watched him. He is taking advantage of the rules. He's sliding late.
Mhm.
He's sliding late. He's flopping a little bit with some of the hits. Now, the hit on Will Anderson, I can see the ref seeing it. He hit him around the chest plate area. Him flopping and throwing himself back a little bit when it's time to go out of bounds. You've seen it too this year. Instead
Yeah,
of
he
stepping out
slows
of
up.
bounds, he's taking it upfield, sometimes even slowing down before stepping out just so he can create the contact to try and draw a foul. Now,
Yeah.
I've seen that a few times,
If you
but
slow down and his ass in bounds, blast him.
but yeah, but listen, you can, and he's done that. I forgot what week it was. He did it, and he did it just this previous week too. He slowed down instead of just going out of
Yeah,
bounds
that
all
was
the way.
Texas. You remember Caleb Williams did that? And
Yeah,
Dan Campbell says, look here, refs, this is what he does. He
yeah,
pretends like he's going to go out of bounds. He slows up, and sometimes he cuts back. Now, he's in bounds. We're
yeah.
going to blast his ass if he does that. And lo and behold, right on cue,
Mhm.
Thanksgiving, he did that. And Jack Campbell, I think, was the linebacker. He
Right.
blasted him.
Blasted
That's
him,
what
yeah.
should happen.
Yeah.
Blast is if he's in bounds, I don't care what he is. If he's in bounds and he's standing upright, knock his shoes off.
Listen, the Chiefs right now are in the same position that the Patriots were in for a very long time. People are tired of seeing them win. They're always in contention. Super Bowl, 2 back-to-back Super Bowls, a chance to three-peat, and I think people are just tired of it and finding things to argue and fuss about when they have. Once you look at the facts and skim through it, as far as the penalty is concerned, is nowhere near what everybody's chirping out to be.
But the thing is, Ocho, when you look at some of the pass interference calls, I mean, and that's what got it. James Bradbury IV, he literally said out of his own mouth, "I held Juju." People argue with a man that was on the field and actually said he held him.
Yeah.
But you can't make it. Why, Ocho? The objective is when they put the rules in place, they didn't say time. Well, you can't make this in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go. You can't make this call late in the ball game. You can't make this call early. They said a penalty, no matter time or place on the field. If you do it, it is a penalty.
Yeah.
James Bradbury says, "I held a guy. I felt him getting away. I was hoping." He said, "I was hoping they didn't see it."
Yeah.
That's what he said. Everybody argued this man. Well, he just do it. No, I promise you. Guys don't just do the right thing in situations like that. Yeah. Guys don't say, "Nah, I held," if they didn't hold. He's gonna go this great. No, I didn't hold him. And then the pool reporter, I think it was Carl Chepers, came out. I forget who the official was, said what happened. Juju released inside. He's looking to option back away, and he tugged him because they run so many shallow crosses. That's why it's so easy for them to option back out, Ocho, because you know I got to beat you over the top because I want you to get the first down.
Right.
So now he gets that hard running and stop and shuts the option away.
Yep.
You got the tug because your momentum is going over the top. So you tug and you use your momentum, like we call it slingshot, to catch back up with it. They threw the flag. You can't make that call in that situation. You absolutely can. Because this was the question I asked. If a guy had done that to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith, would you have wanted that call, yes or no? Or would you have said you can't make that call in that situation?
No, they don't want that call, man.
Of course.
Yeah, they don't want that call.
Because it was a foul. You're right, Ocho. When you win as much, people like for you to win, but I don't want you to win too much. Ocho, I like Nightcap, but hey, man, y'all got to stop winning all these awards now. Damn. Every time I turn around, it's a Webby, it's an iHeart award, it's an NAACP award, it's a this, it's a that. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on. Hey, let somebody else win. Huh? But this ain't second grade. Let somebody else.
Right.
You go out there and you compete and you try to produce the best that you possibly can. I mean, you know what? Hey, Ocho, man, you know what? I think we don't want enough, Ocho, man. Look, let's produce some bad content. Let's don't even worry about the Webbies. Don't even worry about these awards. No. If we gonna get up and spend all this time that we do sometimes what? We went 6 straight days. We went like 7, 8 days one day around Christmas time. We went that Monday, we went that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, back to Monday. No. It doesn't work like that. We're going to produce, and the teams, they go out there, "Oh, y'all done did all this work. I'm out there and it's cold as hell. It's 10 degrees. It's minus degrees. It's 100 degrees. And now you're going to talk about let somebody else win? I want to see somebody else win? Yes. We went 9 straight days during the Olympics. Remember the Olympics, Ocho? We were on every day.
Oh, yeah.
Every day. So, look, I get it. But when you play the game, Ocho,
yes, sir,
you have a different perspective because you know what it takes. Because winning isn't easy. As you go further and further along, it gets harder and harder to win.
Harder. You know what's funny? For fans, let's say in general, regardless of who your team is, when you look at the Patriots have spoiled everybody. That tenure with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick throughout all those years, they had people thinking it's very easy. It's very easy to do what they did. What Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are doing consistently year in and year out for the past 7 years or however many years Patrick Mahomes has been starting, going to the AFC Championship. They have people thinking it's very, very easy. Man, it ain't easy.
Hell no.
It's very hard to do what they're doing. It just people have been spoiled by what they've been able to accomplish. It just is a testament to their greatness and how good they are as as a coach and a player. And now Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are having that same success. And people are just tired of seeing it. Oh,
Yeah,
they
it
tired.
is. Ocho, but think about it. Think about how many times I think Tom Brady might have won the division like 15, 16, 17 times in his career. Ocho, I won as many Super Bowls as I did division titles.
Mm,
And I played 14 years.
yeah.
I won 3 division titles. Patrick Mahomes doesn't know what it's like to not win the division title.
Right.
They won it, what, 8, 9 straight years? Because they
Mhm.
won it a couple of years with Alex Smith, and then they won it when Mahomes boy took over.
Yeah.
So
And
for the most part, if you got to Kansas City in the last, say, 6, 7, 8 years, you don't know what it's like not to be the AFC West champs. You don't know what it's like not to play in the AFC Championship game because that's all you know.
mhm.
It's like a family that goes on vacation. They don't know what it's like not to go on vacation during the summer. Our black ass didn't know what it was like to go on vacation during the summer. So you're like, damn. I mean, I'm like, man, I sure wish they could. I wish they stopped going on vacation. Why you mad at somebody? Don't you want your team to beat them? I thought you to beat the man, you got to beat the man. To
Yeah.
beat the champ, you got to beat the champ.
Listen,
Like,
hey, that game gonna be so good, man.
yes, at
It's
least
it's,
that's what we hoping.
it's
It's,
Saturday
I
or
mean,
Sunday.
it's Sunday. Sunday, both
Yeah.
games on Sunday, same time, like 3 and 6:30. I think 3 and 6, 3
Hey,
6:30, something like that.
and the thing, yeah, my prediction, I predicted. Listen, Mahomes is great. The Chiefs are great. Spags, the defense, and what they're doing is great. And Josh Allen has played phenomenal football this year. And one of the things that's always been his Achilles heel is turning the ball over, and he's
Yep,
fixed that.
yep.
He's fixed that. People ask me who's going to win the game, and I said the team or the quarterback that makes the fewest mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
The team of the quarterback that makes the fewest mistakes. So I had to score the game being low. And with the way Josh Allen is playing, if he can play like he played last week, not turn the ball over, protect the ball, everyone makes the plays they need to make. I say they have a good chance at finally beating the greatness that is Patrick
Exercising
Mahomes
those
and Kansas City
demons.
Chiefs. Yeah.
Because here's the thing, Ocho. People keep saying, well, does Josh Allen has to be Superman? No, he doesn't.
No,
He can be
no.
Clark Kent, as long as he don't
Yeah,
turn the ball over. We've
that's
seen
it.
him beat Superman in certain situations, but turnovers be his undoing. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, they have an excellent chance of winning the game. And if you
Yeah.
look at Josh's history, more times than not, when he takes care of the football, they win or they're in position to win. When you
Mhm.
start turning the ball over late, you can talk about a division round. Go back and look last week. The teams that turned the ball over, they lost.
All of them.
It all of them. It's really that simple. The teams that turn the football over lose. As you go further, you pay more and more heavier price
Right.
for turning the football over. But you look, that's what you get, Ocho, when the team is win because we're not used to seeing teams win like the Chiefs.
Mhm.
We got the Patriots did it, and we like, oh, so we done with that now, Ocho. We ain't got to worry about seeing that
Right,
for another
right,
20,
right,
30
right.
years. Hold
Hmm.
on. How does the Patriots they fall off when they lose Tom Brady, and there's Patrick Mahomes right here to pick right back up?
Hmm. Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know this, Ocho, but animals, like if you have like if you have a squirrel or a raccoon problem, if
Yeah.
you get rid of them and you don't board it up, another family will come in because those animals are territorial. So if
Yeah.
one move, just like an abandoned building, you got homeless people living in it. If you don't board it up, guess what? You move one that's set out,
They're gonna come
somebody
another.
coming right back in.
Right.
So if you don't fix this problem, they got a good quarterback. They got the next quarterback in line to Tom Brady. Why are we surprised?
Mm. It's gonna be like this for a while. We got a long way to go now.
He's 29.
Long way to
He's
go.
29.
Yeah.
Now, there are a lot of great young quarterbacks.
Hmm.
There are a lot of great young quarterbacks. I mean, Big Ben was a good quarterback. Phillip Rivers was a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning was in the league at the time. There are a
Mhm.
lot of quarterbacks in the league. Donovan McNabb was in the league at the time.
Mhm.
Steve McNair was in the league at the time. Drew Brees was in the league at the time. Let's
Yeah.
not pretend there weren't no good quarterbacks in the league when Tom was in. They
Yeah.
were. He just happened to be at the top of the pecking order. So until somebody beat him, and you're gonna, hey, don't think now you can knock them because Cincinnati knocked them off 1 year, and guess what? They came back and got 2 more. So just because you knock them off, don't think that's the end of them now. Because remember, from Tom Brady, from the time he won his 3rd until he won his 4th, there was a decade lapse. And everybody said, oh, yeah, we don't see. That's the end of it.
Nah.
That man came back and went FOMO. All right, Ocho, we got a very special guest joining us, a very good friend. I had a conversation with him, asked him would he join us from time to time. Great guy, great financial guy, has some great ideas of how and what you should do if you get some money, how you can save your money. He and I had a great conversation talking about, he told me, like, if your assets are on your ass, you not set. So without any further ado, let's give it up. Good friend of mine, John Hope Bryant. John, how you doing?
All good, my man. Good to be with you.
Good to be with you. So a couple of weeks ago, you did a
the ladies had talked to me about you since you were at the forum, and they said, you know what the biggest thing on Shannon Sharpe is? I was like, I don't know if I want to know the answer to this question. I said, no. The biggest thing on Shannon Sharpe is his credit score. He got a good credit score. He's got an 800 credit score. This brother's making smart sexy. We've been making dumb sexy for way too long. We've dumbed down and celebrated it. It's time to make smart sexy again. You want to impress me? Get an A in math. You want to impress me?
Right.
Don't just be cute. When you go to the club tonight, you ask her her name. Yeah, you fine. Then what's your credit score? That's your partner for life. Anyway, I heard that you're at a very high credit score, Shannon. Kudos to you, brother. So,
I am. I'm trying to get it back to 850. I'm trying to get it back to 850. It's been real slow to get back to get it back up there, but I'm trying.
Yeah. Hey, brother John, I'm glad you opened up with that. I'm glad you opened up with the credit score thing. For the people that are in the chat, and I see this discourse many times, especially on Twitter, where people are always arguing. There'll be a question. Would you rather 800 credit score or a certain amount of money? And it'd be a lot of money. Let's say just $1 million. Or it might be. And every time on Twitter, they arguing for hours and hours at a time, and everybody chooses a certain amount of money as opposed to a credit score. For those that are in the chat, can you please explain to them how important it is to have a credit score over any amount of money? People see the dollar figures and the amount of money, and they forget credit. I want the lump sum of money.
Yeah, Ambassador Andrew Young, who was Dr. King, by the way, good to see you, Chad.
Yes, sir.
God bless you, man. Both of you guys are legends. When Ambassador Young was on that balcony with Dr. King when he was assassinated, he's also built the city I'm in now, is the only international city in the American South, the biggest economy in the South, the 10th largest economy in the U.S. And he would say, to live in a system of free enterprise and not to understand the rules of free enterprise must be the very definition of slavery. So you make money. My boy Tony Ressler, billionaire, taught me this lesson. You make money during the day. He owns the Atlanta Hawks, for those who are sports fanatics. That's not where he made his money. That was originally his toy. It was just something to play with. Now it's worth billions. But he made his money in finance, actually, at Ares Management. Anyway, built his wealth. A really good guy. He said, you make your money during the day. You build wealth in your sleep. Okay. So this is a similar situation. People become obsessed with the wrong thing. You asked a very good question. I want to get that cash. I want to get this dollar. I want to get this bag. I want to get this money. I want to get the useless, completely useless. Money has a velocity. It's not stopping. It will go. And if you're financially illiterate, people who are literate will separate you from that dollar. 92% of all GDP of blacks in America, 1.6, $1.7 trillion we generate and spend every year, 92% is consumption. So the man, if you want to call it that, he knows. You're just gonna go spend it. They don't need to hire you to be the spokesman for Louis Vuitton. You're gonna be a walking billboard for it anyway. They don't need to hire sports figures to be Gucci spokespeople and whatever the brands are. They're gonna wear it on anyway because our assets are all too often on our ASS. So because we are where the rules are published and the playing field is level, we kill it. Professional sports, the arts, politics, faith, The rules are published and the playing field is level. But we have never been taught capitalism and free enterprise and financial literacy, which I consider to be financial literacy is a civil rights issue of this generation. So if you, it's what you don't know that you don't know that's killing you, but you think you know. So now I'm going to drop a bomb here that makes the point that money in and of itself is absolutely useless. If I gave a homeless guy, I was homeless for 6 months of my life when I was 18 years old. It was economic homelessness. Most homelessness is mental illness and depression and other things, drugs. If you give a homeless man $1 million and do nothing else, Ocho, he'll be broke in 6 months. Because if nothing changes here, mindset, and then nothing changes here, values, then nothing's going to change here and here. You will walk away from your money, or somebody will walk away with your money. And we want to blame the man for these bad contracts and in the music business and you signed it. The Klan didn't tell you to sign it. Nobody stood over your head with a butcher knife and said, sign that contract. You said, yo, I don't need to, I just want to do the music. I just want to play ball. I don't want to mess around with that. It's the music business. It's the business of music. It's the sports business. It's the business of sports. And to say, so we are brilliant in so many ways. We've been doing so much with so little for so long. We can almost do anything with nothing. But we were never taught financial literacy. There was a Freedmen's Bank created in 1865 after the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln did it with Frederick Douglass, and he was killed the next month for that and promising blacks the right to vote. The bank failed. We never were taught how money works. So in some ways, it's not our fault, but we live in a capitalist democracy. So all these folks, 70% of those who win the lottery, 70% broke in 5 years.
Wow.
Broke. So all this stuff about give me that money, give me that dollar. I mean, I'm going to be really dramatic here. Let's take all the money in the world, including mine, including yours, including Shannon's, Chad. Let's take, because we're green, really. We're not black at this point. We're green. We've made it. Take all our money with everybody else's money, the top 3%. We just made the whole world socialist now. Redistribute it to everybody in the world equally. Within 3 years, we'll all have it back.
Yep.
If you don't do anything else, we'll all have it back because somebody understands how capitalism and free enterprise and money works, and somebody just understands how to spend it. People say, I can be a millionaire, I won't go broke. Yes, you will. Millionaires go broke every day. A billionaire can go broke. Yeah. It's hard, but you can go broke. If your outflow exceeds your inflow, then your overhead will be your downfall. What you really want is mindset, knowledge. You know what I like about Shannon? He came into the Hope Global Forum. We had the Hope Global Forum. And my man just was nosy. I asked Quincy Jones, how'd you get so smart? I'm just nosy as hell. I want to know everything about everything. He was nosy. He was all up in everybody's business, asking this billionaire a question, asking that billionaire a question, asking that CEO a question, all up in my face, asking me questions, trying to learn what he doesn't know.
You don't know what you don't know. John, let me ask you this. I don't know if you know this off the top of your head, but I was reading, like in the Jewish community, the dollar stays there like 43, 45 days. In the Asian community, it stays there like 20 days. In the white community, it stays there like 10 days, 15 days. In the black community, it stays there like 2 minutes.
That's right. And that's with a pit stop.
Ocho and I had a conversation. We was having a conversation. Ocho was like, yes. So Doc, if I gave a person $380,000 and that's all the money they gave and they weren't working, they're 20 years old, let's just say 25, 30, would that money last them a lifetime?
It won't last them 6 months. Look, it happens every day. It's called lawsuit settlements. It happens every day. You know, you go to urban radio station. Let's just have a real conversation. I mean, because Malcolm X said, we've been bamboozled. We've been tricked. We've been fooled. We've been hoodwinked. That applies to so much. President Bill Clinton once said, it's hard to get somebody to agree to the truth when the lie is paying their paycheck. Here are the bookends. Use those two statements as bookends. hoodwinked, bamboozled,
Led astray, run them up.
Yeah. The other comment, it's hard to get somebody to agree to the truth if the lie is paying the paycheck. Now, in the middle is financial illiteracy. Now, you go to an urban radio station, focusing on our community, and listen to the ads. 80% of the ads are pimping. Law firms, lawsuits, high interest rate, C paper mortgages, C paper auto loans is right there in broad daylight. I'm gonna go one step further, and so they get these settlements, slip and falls, whatever. People running in front of cars and tripping. By the way, criminal AI is gonna make criminality really a bad business because these robotics, these cameras, and artificial intelligence. You need to get a new gig. That day is soon, and I mean the next couple of years over. But anyway, back to this point. You go to our neighborhood. You go to a place where we grew up, and here's what you see. A check casher next to a payday loan lender, next to a renter-owned store, next to a title lender, next to a liquor store, next to a pawn shop, fast food store, restaurant, and a church down the street trying to make you feel a little bit better once a week. That's your neighborhood psychologist. That's your neighborhood shrink. We don't want to admit we crazy. Oh, I can't go to a psychologist or a shrink. Somebody might think I'm crazy. If you're Black in America and don't think you're crazy, you're crazy. So we go there and hoop and holler, used to. That's one of our problems. We don't go to church anymore. We don't have any spirituality anymore. That's a whole nother conversation. We've been really hoodwinked now because now we think money's God. We think materialism's God. We think some rapper's God. Anyway, so now the one place you could go and hoop and holler, we don't go there anymore. That's so you don't go crazy. Now, literally, you're being pimped. A 500 credit score neighborhood. The only place you see those places, or is it a 500 credit score neighborhood? By the way, Black and brown, urban, poor, white, rural. Now you go 15 minutes away. In every city in America, I've mapped every zip code in America by credit scores. The Hope Financial Wellness Index. And go to my website and put in your zip code. I'll tell you your credit score in your neighborhood. I'll tell you how you're living. You go 15 minutes away from that zip code, and you're in a 700 credit score neighborhood. In Chicago, I think it's Lincoln something, and then 15 minutes from there, I think it's Garfield Park or something. 500 versus 700, 700 versus 500. You go, Atlanta's the same thing, LA's the same thing, wherever you are. Now, in that 700 credit score neighborhood, 2-parent households, prime financing, 75% home ownership rate, prime almost non-existent, Whole Foods, sit-down restaurants, proper businesses, mainstream banks, right? 15 minutes away, a third world country. We think this is normal. This is why you cannot give somebody $350,000, $380,000 and think that they're going to forget a lifetime. It won't last them a year. I said 6 months, I'll be gracious. It won't last. If your outflow exceeds your inflow, then your overhead will be your downfall. I'm going to go one step further. We are brilliant. Black Americans are literally geniuses. We came here enslaved. My second great grandfather on my dad's side, and my second great grandmother on my mother's side, both slaves. My grandfather was a sharecropper. So I'm talking from the real place. We come from nothing. I come from the bottom quartile of poverty in Compton in South Central to the top 1% in one lifetime because of what we're talking about and me understanding how this system actually works. Now, we're brilliant and we're geniuses. Imagine what would have happened, Ochocinco. Imagine what would have happened, Shannon, if we had a Black Jewish business plan. Imagine what would have happened if we didn't have a 40% home ownership. Go ahead, Shannon. What were you about to say?
I want you to explain what that means and what that actually is.
Yeah, owning something versus talking about something. Poor people talk about other people. Wealthy people talk about their ideas. Go to a barbershop. Go to a nail salon in Black community. Go. I'm not talking about us. I'm helping her to help us. Right. Listen to what we're talking about. We're talking about mostly other people. You go ahead, Chad. You like Chad or Ochocinco, by the way?
Now, it doesn't matter what you call me. I'm gonna answer. I have a question.
Okay.
Now, one of the things you just said, the others talk about their ideas and how they can work together. When it comes to us, we have a problem working together because we don't want to see each other win. We're always in competition with each other as opposed to other ethnicities. They're more so, okay, if you have this idea, well, I'm gonna pick you up. And then whoever's above him, well, I'm gonna pick you up. Where they always work in unison, and a very small percentage of us want to see each other win or help us get to a level where we want to. All right, we want to see you win. You know what? I want to see Joe win, but I want to see him doing better than me.
Would you like me to
It's
tell
our
you why?
mentality.
Why?
Low self-esteem. So check this out. If you're African American, by the way, there are only African American ghettos in America. There are places where Italians live, where Polish people live. There are places where Caribbean blacks live. There are places where black Africans live. There are places, I want to make sure I put black people in this, but there's only African American ghettos in America. Inner cities that are a magnet and a holding place for poverty. What's that relate to? When people say, oh, African Americans, y'all lazy, y'all not intelligent. Really? So you went 400 years ago, halfway around the world in an agricultural economy to go get dummies from Africa and brought them all the way across the world at incredible expense and brought them to America because we're stupid? No. We were agricultural geniuses of the land. I'm coming to your point now.
Okay.
They had this soil in the American South that was a gold mine. It produced crops that were incredible gold mines, cotton and tobacco. It's gold mines. In fact, Haiti was the wealthiest outpost for France in the world was Haiti. And that's a whole nother story. I hope we get to it before we end, because that's the reason America exists, is Haiti. But let me come back to this for a minute. So now they bring us over here. Now, the guys as big as you and Shannon now. High self-esteem, confidence. You're tribal leaders. You're chieftains. They've captured you. They brought you here. But they got to beat the self-esteem out of you. The first thing you're going to do is fight. You see your wife being abused. You see your children being sold off. I'm not trying to start get anybody worked up. I'm trying to explain to them how we get to this low self-esteem. So they're abusing your wife. They're holding you down. It takes probably like 8 people to hold Shannon down. They're holding him down just until he stops fighting. Because that means he realizes he cannot do anything to help his wife. They broke his spirit. They're not trying to break his body. They need his body. They're trying to break his spirit. We're not human beings having a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. Energy matters. So now they sold your kids off in a different direction, so you don't have any hope for that. Most dangerous person in the world is a person with no hope. They now abused your wife. You can't do anything to protect her. Now you just broke a broken man, just the way they need you. Now they put you to work building these crops. By the way, blacks and whites, poor blacks and whites, were friends in the 1600s in America on a plantation. True fact. Is it, again, some of this we should be able to go deep on, but to answer your question, they had to break your spirit. They had to keep you away from books. They had to not teach you financial literacy. They needed you to have confidence in taking dead soil and bringing it back to life. What were we experts at? Africa is hot. The soil dies all the time. We were geniuses of the land, bringing it back to life. What's the largest untapped natural resource in the world today? To this day, it's Africa. That's what everybody needs. By the way, Africa is the future to world demographics, because the youngest people in the world are in Nigeria. Anyway, back to this story. So now you got high confidence today. Let's fast forward now. African Americans, we're killing it in many sectors. We have incredible confidence because we're competent, but we have low self-esteem. So if I don't like me, I'm not going to like you. If I don't feel good about me, I'm not going to feel good about you. If I don't respect me, don't expect me to respect you. If I don't love me, I don't have a clue how to love you. And here's the big one. If I don't have a purpose in my life, I want to make your life a living hell. Because whatever goes around, comes around, and hurt people. There you go with crab in the barrel. So now you have all these smart people who are hooked on cash, not building wealth. Hooked on giving it away versus collecting it. Hooked on transactions versus relationships. Hooked on what I got to get versus what I have to give. Being told religion isn't important anymore, forget about that in spirituality, now the devil's got you. When you and Shannon get up in the morning, and me, the devil says, oh shit, they're up. There's not enough of us. Because when you succeed, I love it. I applaud you. I don't have a self-esteem problem. It's okay if you don't like me, I like me. But self-esteem and arrogance are two different things. So what do we need? 5 pillars of success. So my last book is Financial Literacy for All. It's a bestseller. One before that was Up From Nothing. One before that, I used 6 of them. But the one before that, Up From Nothing, had 5 pillars. As much education you can shove down your throat. How do we reverse what we're talking about, Ochocinco? As much education you can shove down your throat. That's why you see books all around me in my office. I'm always reading. That's why, again, Shannon's nosy. You're nosy. I love it. Number 2, understanding how the language of money works. Financial literacy is as important as the right to vote, as a 4-year education. A 700 credit score is as important as a 4-year college degree. Yes, I said it. And everybody who works for me has a college degree, and they better have a good credit score. Because you never had a billionaire that didn't do it on good debt. You never had a successful country or city that didn't do it on good debt. You cannot succeed unless you understand how the system works, and you need cheap access to good credit. Number 3, you need self-esteem and confidence. Number 3, we need family structure and resiliency. Number 3. Number 4, you need self-esteem and confidence. We just covered that. Number 5, you need role models in the right environment. So why do our kids want to be rap stars, athletes, and drug dealers to the exclusion of everything else? Because that's all they see. In our neighborhoods, it's symbols of success. We're not dumb and we aren't stupid. We're brilliant. We're modeling what we see. Let's give the kids something different to see. Let's widen their aperture. Let's make smart sexy again. Forget Black Lives Matter. Let's make Black capitalists matter. Right? So that's why I say a Black Jewish business plan. Number 1 way you build wealth in America: home ownership. What do we argue about? Endlessly, because we 41, 42, 43% of Black people own a home, compared to 75% of our mainstream counterparts read white. The whole tax code in America is designed to support credit scores. I'm sorry, designed to support home ownership. But we want to argue about, John, and there's somebody probably in the chat right now. Oh, who are you talking about? We don't own the home, the bank owns the home. If you don't pay, I mean, I can go at this all day. I like math because it doesn't have an opinion. But no one taught us this. I mean, this is basic stuff. 3 things have never gone down in value: stock market value, real estate values, and GDP of America, gross domestic product. In the history of America, gone up, there was a recession and receded and corrected above the line every time.
But John, let me ask you this, but here's the thing though, John. In order to really invest in the stock, you got to have what we call disposable income. If you're using if you living check to check, if you got to pay a mortgage or a rent, if you got to pay a car note, and you got to pay bills, that leaves you very little disposable income in order to put into the market. So therefore, why, like a lot of people that don't have disposable income, it's hard for them to accumulate. Forget generational wealth, just enough that when they retire, because I ain't really counting on Medicaid and Medicare to take care of Shannon Sharpe. So I'm just like, hey, that's gonna be over with. But when you don't, so how would one that has very little or marginal disposable income accumulate something that when they retire, they have something, they have a nice little nest egg?
So you don't have a self-esteem problem, Shannon.
No, hell no. I love me.
You won't have a problem with me when I say to you that what you just said is wrong.
Okay.
Now when it comes to professional sports and a whole bunch, I got to come to you and just shut up because I don't know. I have no clue.
Okay.
But there's occasionally I might have something that I can give to you. And you just was a beautiful setup. That is just incorrect. My mother worked 32 years at McDonnell Douglas Aircraft, making $15 an hour. She died September last with $1 million net worth. She had bought and sold 7 homes. Her credit score, like you, was 854, I believe it was. It used to go over 850. It was 854. When somebody watching this says, well, Shannon just made a great point, and he did make a great point. Here you go. I don't have any disposable income. You went to Starbucks last week, smoking cigarettes. If you go to Starbucks 3 times a week and you just got a cigarette habit, that's $6,000 a year. You're making $36,000 a year. That's 20% of your income. I'll let that sink in for a minute. The cigarettes on the box says this shit will kill you. Like, I don't know if I can say that on your podcast. This stuff will kill you. All right. So stop smoking cigarettes and go get you a Keurig machine at home and make your own coffee. You've now just recaptured $3,000, $2,000. Take that, put it into, by the way, don't even do that. Just stop doing silly stuff like going to a fast food restaurant every other night. Cook something at home. And by the way, it might extend your life because you cannot have a soul food diet for the rest of your life and live to 80 years old. There are no 300-pound 80-year-olds. And that's a diet that was designed for slavery because they put anyway, back to this point.
They was working it off, Doc.
Huh?
You could eat like that when you was in those fields working 14 hours a day.
You had to because they threw the worst parts of the animal out back as a disrespect to you. All you could do is turn it into a delicacy. Whole cake, grits, hog maws, pig feet, fried chicken,
oxtail, neck bones.
Oxtails. I love oxtails.
Pig,
I do. And we put salt on all the meat so it didn't die in the heat. Right?
Yes, you had to cure it. That's salt preserves it. You're absolutely right.
Right? So I love soul food twice a month. Not 3 times a day. That's why Black folks are inflamed. We're not fat. We are inflamed. 75% of all disease, my wife, Shane, is a wellness expert, she'll tell you 75% of all disease lives on inflammation. Inflammation. It comes from bad environment, bad food. Back to this example. Let's assume that you don't have I'm about to say crack habit. I mean, you don't have a
Starbucks or cigarette, alcohol.
Yeah. Listen, you don't have that. You're just wasting a little bit of money. Take $25 that you were going to go spend on whatever and do fractional share investment. Okay. You can buy a fraction of Warren Buffett's company, a $25 fraction of a share in Target, Walmart, whatever you're dressed in, whatever you like, go buy that and do whatever you can afford. $5, $10, you can do $1 fractional share. Don't tell me what you cannot do. So somebody watching this, you about to give somebody some money. Somebody watching this, I'm going to say, you got a check coming to you because of Ochocinco and Shannon Sharpe. You got a check for $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, maybe $20,000. It's called the EITC. People say, what's that? The minute somebody in your chat says, what's that? Congratulations. If you make less than $60,000 a year, which is half of this country, you just got a check from the federal government through Shannon Sharpe and Ochocinco. It's called the EITC. If you make $38,000 a year, you live in a small town, you're listening to this podcast, you have 3 children, the government owes you a check for working. It's not a handout for $7,500, about $7,500. If you've never filed, it's retroactive for 3 years. That's $20,000. 1 out of 4 Americans who qualify for it never even asked for it. That's $20 billion a year, Shannon.
Wow.
That's Black people, to be real clear. That's us. We don't have a tax pro. We don't have anybody doing our taxes. So, and if you're renting for the same cost of a mortgage payment, you should be owning the house. Rent to own. You're paying money uptown with people who don't like you, with money you don't have to buy something you can't afford, to be in some place people don't want you there. In a doorman in a house that I own. I'm the landlord. I'm literally the landlord. I'm the largest minority owner of single-family rental homes in America. Well, I built this company, Promise Homes Company, owned 700 homes between here and Florida. I sold most of the company in 2021. And I did that over 5 years. And I encourage people not to rent from me. Rent and get out. Go buy a house. So it's a misnomer that you can't do this. Whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're right. Is the glass half full or is it half empty? Depends who's looking at the glass. One thing I know about you two, you're optimists. Over the round and through it, you're going to get to it. You're going to run over somebody to do it. Is that right?
Yep.
That's exactly what your listeners should be doing. Never say never. Don't say, I can't do this. It's impossible because I'm making a little money. No, you got to have the right habits. Most of success is hustle and good habits and optimism. Money's overrated. I never focus on money. I got more than I need. I never focus on it. I focus on passion, purpose, authenticity, anyway. I'm trying, look, I can move somebody's credit score listening to you who's making $40,000 a year. I can turn him into a homeowner in a year. I can get your credit score up in 54 points in 6 months through my Hope financial coaching. I can get your debt down $3,800, your savings up $1,200 in 6 to 8 months. I'm doing it through, I have 1,500 offices at Operation Hope that do financial coaching for free inside of bank branches. So the bank then says yes to you to become a homeowner. I'm not talking theory to you, brother. I've done $4.5 billion. I've invested $4.5 billion in the Black and brown neighborhoods through Operation Hope with the exact stuff we're talking about. This is not theory.
John, if we're gonna get you out of here on this, what would be your one best piece of advice you could give our chat tonight?
Get off your rear end and stop complaining, stop whining, stop obsessing with stuff that's like, look, racism is like rain. It's either falling someplace or it's gathering. So get out an umbrella in the color you like and start strolling through it, because it's not going to change. It's been around since Jesus. It's not going to change, so you must. Get your head right, get your mind right, get your spirit right, get your life right. Get out of your own way. Realize that you're God's child, that no one has these fingerprints. They're completely unique and they're yours, and you could be great. You can be Ochocinco and Shannon Sharpe because they were once you. You can be John Hope Bryant. You can be Charlemagne. You can be Stephen A. Smith. But there's no billionaire. There's no billionaire there's no entertainer or no sports figure who's a billionaire who didn't do it without crossing over into business.
Yeah, it's the only way you can't.
100%. You can't sell enough movie tickets or concert tickets or merchandise. You can't do it with the Ochocinco going back. Can't do it with that cash. Won't get there. You build wealth in your sleep. Stocks, bonds, home ownership, investments, businesses. 1MBB at Operation Hope, we created a half a million Black businesses since George Floyd's murder. I'm committed to create 1 million Black businesses by 2030. This is the Black Jewish business plan, right? And there's only 3.1 million Black businesses in America. We've already created 450,000 of them, just under 500,000. That's 12%, give or take, of the national average. And I'm not going to stop, because this is one of the ways that we can build wealth using our hustle or our talents. Don't just stand on the mic, own that damn thing. Don't rock the mic, own the mic rental company. Own the stage rental company. Own the porta potties at the movie studio and the video shoot. Own the lighting system that gets rented. These companies don't own that stuff. They rent that stuff. Be the rental company, the VIP bracelets, but own the company that prints those things and sell it to the nightclub. Stop being a fool going to the nightclub, spending $500 on a bottle of champagne that costs them $25. Be the company that sells them the bottles. Don't go to the club, own the club. I was with the Mike Maples, who's one of the top 20 venture capitalists. I'm sorry, I'm passionate. I'm not talking too much.
No, go ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
But my mother always said, you never want to be the old guy in the club. So before y'all kick me out, I'm going to leave, right? So this guy named Mike Maples, he's a big venture capitalist in Silicon Valley. I was talking to him one day. I said, Mike, tell me about your family. Oh, just normal family. Mike, I didn't ask you that. I asked you to tell me about your family. Well, my dad worked for Microsoft. Okay, what do you do with Microsoft? Oh, he worked for Bill Gates. I said, look, technically, everybody worked for Bill Gates. Like, yeah. Hey, what did he do? By the way, we need a Black Bill Gates as much as we need a Black president, by the way. Because that'll create other billionaires, other centimillionaires, 100 million, other multimillionaires who then create philanthropy in their neighborhoods, who hire people who look like them, mentor people who look like them. The cascade effect of that would be incredible. Back to this example. So I said, I work for Bill Gates. Okay, I asked him 14 questions. He finally said, well, he was the president of software. I said, hold on, slow down. Did you just say your dad was the president of software at Microsoft? So he really did work for Bill Gates.
Right.
Yeah. I said, you said your life was normal. Tell me more. Tell me about your first business. Well, my dad, I started this little business. I forget what it was, whatever, newspaper business, whatever it was. I forget what it was. But he was 12 years old. And he made this the biggest business in his neighborhood. And he went to his dad one day. Here's the point. He said, Dad, I'm so excited. I have made this the biggest business in our neighborhood. I'm gonna sell this business to Disney. Mindset. Mike Mabel Sr. said, I'm ashamed of you, son. We don't think like that in this household. I raised you better than that. I'm sitting there scratching my head going, wait a minute, the kid just said, I'm a businessman. I'm going to sell my business now to Disney. He said, no. In this household, we don't build a business and sell it to Disney. We build a business to buy Disney.
Wow.
Drop the mic. What is Mike Maples doing today? Buying businesses. You model what you see. So we need to become what we want to see. Look, anybody out there saying, let's just give it away. Even if you want to distribute money like a socialist, you got to first collect it like a capitalist.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody out there who has a problem with what we've been saying this last hour, let me say this to you. You try government, charity. You tried social justice. You tried guilt. You tried whatever you tried. We've tried a bunch of stuff. It ain't worked. Why don't you try capitalism? Hello? It seems to work for everybody else. Everybody who's tried to use free enterprise and capitalism to set themselves free has succeeded. We're brilliant. Why can't we do it? We can. We just have never tried it. That's what I'm teaching at scale. That's what you're doing. When I listen to you. You did a whole thing when you're talking about credit scores. I remember you said 800. Now everybody was thinking, well, if I want to be like Shannon, I need an 800 credit score. Ochocinco be dropping some gems, and you guys be weaving knowledge. Charlemagne is very good at this, weaving knowledge and education into the entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need at scale. We got to make this mainstream right now.
Dang.
John, I appreciate you joining us tonight. That's what we're going to do from time to time. Our job here at Nightcap is to not only entertain, that's what we do. We inform people about what transpired in the game and so forth and so on, but we also like to educate people. We like people because we want to see our people succeed. And what better way to do it is that people that's been successful, sometimes we get redundant here from Ocho and I. And sometimes we need to bring a new voice in, someone that succeeded on a grander scale that can speak to things that Ocho and we need help understanding and talking about. So for you to come on tonight and educate our group, our chat, we greatly, greatly appreciate that.
Well, let me say this. I think you're brilliant. I think what you've done here is brilliant. I think that you guys are a great partnership. You play very well on each other. And I think it's very elegantly done. And I love seeing you shine. I love seeing you succeed. And other people I know, Bishop T.D. Jakes and Charlemagne and Stephen A. Smith, they're all rooting for you. And that beautiful thing, a black man loving on another black man and completely straight. Right? So your audience, I want you to hear now this last thing. For anybody, all of the folks who want to be ball players and football, God bless you. Fantastic. No problem with it. But 70% of all those in the NBA, 70% of all those in professional football bankrupt 5 years after retirement.
2
years. Thank you, Ocho. You would know better than me. I would be conservative. And by the way, and then your wife leaves you.
Yeah.
So this is, if your outflow exceeds your inflow, then your overhead is going to be your downfall. If you've made all this money your whole life and you're now used to people feeding you, protecting you, serving you, giving you a paycheck, right? And then the paycheck stops, but your lifestyle is at a point where the bills keep coming and everybody else around you expects you to fund their lifestyle, and you're not doing them a favor, by the way. All this posse that you're funding, you're not doing them a favor because they can't take care of themselves. You need people to be self-reliant. Give them a hand up, not a hand out. And then when you need help, they can't come to help you.
Correct.
Because you're the source. So we've got to get our mind right, because even when those who are succeeding at the top of their game aren't using an opportunity to turn an income into wealth that pays you when you're asleep. So you can be Reggie Jackson. You can be Magic Johnson. Yes. You can be Michael Jordan. You can be Shannon Sharpe. There's a whole list of the folks who've actually done this right.
Hey, John, I need a couple of those cars that Reggie got. Reggie got a big car.
Reggie's balling, man. Reggie is balling.
He's one. John, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, man. I'll be in touch with you. You know, you and I, we talk. We're gonna get together and do have a chew the fat, sit down and do some business together, bro. I really appreciate what you're doing for our community and partaking wisdom on our chat tonight. So I greatly appreciate that, man.
My pleasure. Sending you love and light. Everybody go out and get Financial Literacy for All. It's my newest book, Peace and Light. And go get operational counseling. I'll give you $1,000 free scholarship to go to Operational, get a year's worth of coaching and counseling. So don't say that Shannon didn't do anything for you. Shannon and Ochocinco.
Thank you, boss.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Peace.
That was John Hope Bryant. He's brilliant, Ocho. I mean, the way he can lay out, the way he can explain it to you, what you should buy, and that's what you have to do. You know, people are like, well, I ain't got no money. It's funny you ain't got no money, but you got money to stop by Starbucks drive-through every day and buy a $5 to a $7 latte.
Yeah, and you
got money to do that. You got money. You got money to go on all these vacations. I've never understood borrowing money to go on a vacation. I never understood that, Ocho. Maybe that's just me. I'm not going to go if I can't go and pay for it. I'm not finna go into debt to do it.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things I've always had, you notice, I know you always talk about you don't go on vacation, but I also don't go on vacation until I put in some type of work. I see people, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Just my mindset is a little different. When I think about going on vacation to me, the reason for going on vacation is because I put in a certain amount of work and the body needs to reset. I need to have a mental lapse of calmness and peace.
Yes.
I just go on a vacation just to be going on vacation, just take pictures and have fun. I never saw the point in that.
But Ocho,
that is me personally.
Can I ask you a question?
How
can I go on vacation and I'm worried the whole time? How the hell am I gonna pay for this? That ain't no peace, Ocho. I mean, I've got to get away like, I ain't got a worry in the world. I know when I get back, I got my mortgage gonna be paid, the car payment gonna be paid, X amount of money going to savings, yada, yada, yada. I don't have to worry about paying for this vacation. If I'm on the vacation and I'm like, oh Lord, have mercy. Woo. I sure probably shouldn't have come. And I hear people say, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for this, but I'll worry about that later. Huh?
Yeah.
You think that charge is gonna magically disappear on your credit card? And they charge, I don't know what credit card rate is because I pay all my, probably what's credit card rate? 15, 20%? And you got a $5,000, $10,000 credit card and you send in $200 a month. What the hell you gonna do? Somebody else gonna be paying that off.
It all starts with one of the key things that he did say that I always talk about. I mean, those that have followed me throughout the years, I always talk about financial literacy and having a discipline. If you don't have discipline, it doesn't matter what amount of money they give you, you're gonna run through it.
It's gonna be gone.
You're gonna run through it. That's why when that argument on Twitter happens every so often, where people talk about credit score and a certain amount of money, and I see all the Twitter go with, oh, I want this amount of money because where it is, I'm gonna just pay it off and then I'm gonna flip it and I'm gonna do this. They got all these ideas, not really understanding that's not how it works.
Ocho, remember I told you the story? I was in the NFL and my credit was so bad I couldn't get a car.
Oh yeah.
A prime example. I couldn't get a car. And so, I mean, now if you want to pay cash for everything, they'll graciously accept it. But if I got that kind of cash, I'm gonna put it away. I want to put a large portion of it away and let it work for me because I know I'm gonna get somewhere between 4% and 8%.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to pay no car. I ain't trying to put $200,000 pay a car for $200,000 or having the car cost $30,000, $40,000, or I want to get a house and I got to pay for the whole house, pay it off, or I have to get some. Hell no. No, that's just me. But John, we really appreciate you. Hopefully, chat, you enjoyed that conversation about how to, be financially and fiscally responsible. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody coming to save you.
Oh,
now you can hope, and we're not doing political. Hey, I've made peace with the decision that the American public made on November, that second Tuesday in November. I've made peace with that. I ain't finna work my nerves up. These 4 years gonna go by in a breeze, just like the last 4 years and the 4 years before that. So y'all can get all upset and talk about, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep my head down. I'm gonna keep my ears closed, and I'm gonna go to work.
Singular focus.
That's what I'm gonna do. Now I don't know what y'all gonna do, but I'm gonna tell you what Shannon Sharpe's gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. And when these 4 years is up, I'm going to look up. There's going to be somebody come in, make a whole lot of promises, and they don't deliver. Some people are going to get delivered. That's going to get delivered on, and some people are not. But y'all keep worrying about this. I ain't worried about it. I can't work my nerves up. I've made peace with it, Ocho. I think they should also. Ocho, check this out. The Cowboys plan to have a second interview with OC Brian Schottenheimer. Clarence Hill Jr., I know Clarence very well, and he's very plugged in to the Cowboys. He says Jerry Jones will force Jason Witten onto the new coaching staff as the head coach in waiting. Remember, Mike McCarthy, this was reported that one of the things that Mike McCarthy didn't like, and this is what Jerry does. Jerry hires a head coach and then fills your staff out. As opposed, and people say, well, why you can't win? I might not want that running back coach. I might not want that DC. I might not want that DB coach or that quarterback or that offensive coordinator. But Jerry says that's who you're going to hire. So he's going to force Jason Witten. Okay, I'm going to give you the job, but you got to hire him, and him. You like working under these circumstances, Ocho?
Absolutely not. And listen, the funny thing about it is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. And the same thing continues to happen at the Cowboys organization, and Jerry doesn't seem to realize it yet. I'm not sure. You said the fans have caught on. The fans are understanding who the issue is. The fans are understanding who the problem is. Nothing in Dallas is going to change until the fans take a stand. And you know there's only one way to take a stand is to hurt the pockets. Until you hurt the pockets, until he sees that fans are not falling for the bullshit no more, then nothing is going to change. It's not going to change.
And the thing, Ocho, you had no better example. CeeDee Lamb wanted to wear number 2. What number did Jerry force on that man?
88. 88.
What other NFL owner, whatever the sport is, says, nah, we want you to wear that. That's the number.
Yeah, I think he has this thing where 88,
I don't want 88.
Yeah. I don't know what it is he's trying to keep carrying on. The legacy of the number.
First of all, all the great 88s, he wasn't there. Michael was there. He was there. Coach Landry drafted Michael. He wasn't there with Drew Pearson. So what are you talking about 88?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I know the identity of the number 88 is always some of the greatest receivers that have played for that franchise. Dez, Michael Irvin, now CeeDee Lamb.
Sometimes, Ocho, in college, you see the number 7. They give that to their best, Leonard Fournette had that. Pat P had that. Honey Badger had that. You go to Texas, the University of Texas, and you're a linebacker, you get the number 60.
Yeah.
That was Tommy Noba's number.
Yes, sir.
And so Brett Hager, a lot of these guys, a lot of their top linebackers, that's the number they bestow upon you. That's college. But in NFL, I want to be number 2. Man, I wish Savannah State would have said, nah, I want number 2. Nah, we're going to give you, this is the number we want you to have. Okay. Fort Valley, Morehouse, can I get number 2? I'm going to go somewhere where I can get number 2.
Right.
But this is the problem. You see, this is what we're talking about. You see Jerry, and y'all talking, it's the culture, it's the player. You can't shape the culture as long as this guy's your owner. As long as he's in this situation like this, it ain't going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen because the coach can't be the coach because why? He can't even hire his own staff. He going for now. Jerry got eyes and ears. Because if I put somebody in that situation, what am I going to expect, Ocho? Tell me everything that's being discussed. Tell me everything that's being done. That's why a lot of times what do they do? A lot of times when new staff come in, they get rid of everything, Ocho.
Yeah, because they want to bring their own in.
Ta-da! Because there's a loyalty to the people that was there before you.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Hey, do what you've done, you get what you've always gotten. So I'm not surprised by that. The Lions seem to be Aaron Glenn hired by the Jets. Oh, okay, he was hired.
Yeah.
Hired by the Jets as the new coach. The Lions have now lost their following coaches on the staff. OC, Ben Johnson. Rumored Hank Fraley. I think Hank brother was a former offensive lineman, but he's scheduled to leave and go with Ben Johnson, be his offensive coordinator and his offensive line coach. DC, Aaron Glenn is now the Jets. And I don't know if it's pronounced Terrell or Terrell Williams to the Pats as DC. That's what happens, Ocho. When you're successful, eventually you start losing people. That's why it's so hard, Ocho. That's why you need to take advantage of these opportunities, because eventually you're going to lose an OC. You're going to lose a DC. You're going to lose players, your best players. You're not going to be able to pay them what another team in free agency will be able to pay them. And so now they start raiding your hen house and stealing your chickens.
Yeah.
You lose a coach. Go ahead.
Hey, I like that analogy. They start raiding your hen house and stealing your chickens. And that's exactly what happens when a team has success. You know, I say all the time, Unc, I say players get coaches fired and players get coaches hired. And that's exactly what the Detroit Lions was able to do. Ben Johnson had the right supporting staff. Aaron Gillick had the right supporting staff, right personnel on the field. That's where the success comes from. Because if you were on any different team and you didn't have a certain type of personnel on the field to run the X and O's or run the scheme that you have, then wouldn't nobody be trying to hire you.
Right.
So it's all about going to the right place. One of the things that does scare me, that worries me a little bit about Aaron Glenn going to the New York Jets is the fact
got no quarterback.
He ain't got no quarterback. So when you don't have a quarterback, you understand the leash becomes that much shorter. In order for you to have any type of success in this league, you got to have a quarterback.
That's why, think about it, Ocho. When you really get down to the nuts, there's a reason why Mike Tomlin lasted so long.
Yeah.
He had been Roethlisberger for 13 years.
Oh, yeah.
Ta-da!
Oh, yeah.
What other black head coach that we can think of has had a job for 13 years? Tony Dungy could have had a job that long, but Tony, see what Tony did? Tony left and left Jim Caldwell with Peyton.
Yeah.
Peyton ended up getting hurt, and then they fired Jim. So that's what, because Tony's like, hey, I can stay here, but I want my guy to get a job, and I don't want to leave the cupboards bare. The same thing that Coach Smith, rest his soul, at North Carolina, what did he do? He left Coach Guthrie with a Vince Carter, Antoine Jameson. I ain't going to leave the cupboards bare.
Yeah. Oh, you know, Marvin did 17 in Cincinnati.
Without a quarterback, you ain't doing no 17.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Marvin had
Carson.
And then
he drafted Andy Dalton.
Yeah. He had a good run, real good run.
Yeah. I'm happy for AG, but you're right, Ocho. Look, we don't if you go back and study history, we're getting jobs. We're getting the Jets. You get the Jets. You get Arizona. You get, you get stuff, you get things, you get jobs like that. Cincinnati, because Cincinnati was terrible before Marvin got there. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I want to be the first to tell you they were terrible. They were good and terrible.
Yeah. Who they had? Jeff Blake, Akili Smith.
Akili Smith was there when I was in Baltimore.
Right.
Jeff was there when I was with the Broncos in the 90s. Jeff was good. Him and Slim Pickens, Carl Pickens.
Yeah,
they had a nice duo. But I wish AG the best of luck. Hopefully they get the quarterback situation resolved, because it doesn't matter what you do without that guy. It ain't going very far. You're not going very far.
Yeah,
you're not. Ben Johnson says he enjoys beating Matt LaFleur twice a year. Let's take a listen to the sound, Ocho.
I know this is the toughest division of football right now. There's 3 teams that made the playoffs this year. I've got tremendous amount of respect for the coaches and the players in this league, having competed against them for the last 6 years. Dane Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, you're talking about 2 guys that are up for Coach of the Year awards as the season ends here. And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
You're like, hold on, wait a minute. Bro, this is the first time we had a win over Green Bay in like 7 or 8 years. You talking about beating Matt LaFleur. You beat him there. We gonna need you to beat his ass here.
And listen, and honestly, I think he will. I think the Bears are going to the Bears are going to be very good when they implement that new offense, that scheme, and obviously the schematic ways in which he can use players to their strengths and maximize Caleb Williams' potential and what he can do. I really think is if you could do it with golf, what do you think you're going to be able to do with Caleb Williams?
I hope so.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
I think the thing is with Jordan Love's going to have to, excuse me, get off to a better start, Ocho. He's going to have to do a better job because, like I said, Ocho, he has these spells where he'll go 5 or 6 games where he'll have 1 to 2 turnovers a game, and then he'll have a stretch where he'll go 7 games and he won't turn it over.
Go crazy.
I'm like, bro. And if you look at the game they lost in the playoffs, turnovers doomed them.
Yeah.
You're not going to win it. You turn the ball over. You're not winning. You're not winning. It's hard to overcome multiple turnovers in a playoff game, especially if you're on the road.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Ocho. I like the hire. Chicago with Ben Johnson. They're just a few pieces away. They need to shore up that offensive line. You got to do that. Got to do a better job of protecting your quarterback. You got to. That's the money. That's why you now all of a sudden you see security at banks that didn't used to have that. They got tired of people running in there and running out with the money. You need somebody to protect it. So I like it. They got nice skilled players outside. We're gonna see what they're gonna do with Keenan Allen. But DJ just signed a contract last year. Roma Dunze is on a rookie contract. I like Cole Kmet, Swift. But they need to shore up that offensive line, get some protection. But I like this hire by Ben Johnson. Let's see if he can replicate what he did as the OC in Detroit. Let's see if he can bring some of that magic to the Windy City. Ocho, the NFL reissues a $25,000 fine to Joe Mixon after they initially punished him for comments he didn't even make. He's like, this is what he posted. I'm getting fined by the NFL for what someone else said. What's next? I got fined by them for Conor McDavid cross-checking an opponent at an NHL game. Then they like, hold on, you're right, you didn't say it, but you did say something, so here, we're going to reissue you a check. We're going to reissue your ass a fine because you did say something. We got that wrong, but we're going to get this one right.
Hey, the NFL, man, listen, the no fun league, you got to be careful today. They going to find a way to line their pockets, man, and give the money to charity, but you just got to be careful, man. You got to be careful. It's unnecessary. The season's over. No need to reissue the fine. Let the man go ahead and I mean, he can still appeal it at this point, right?
Yeah, you can appeal it. You can get it back.
Yeah, they ain't gonna uphold it. You think?
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
They don't want you criticize. They don't want you to criticizing the officials.
Yeah, I mean, that you can't do. You can't.
Hey, I thought Jerry was I thought Jerry kind of liked time. Oh, never mind. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that at a later date time, Ocho. Because he says, okay, let me get this straight. 25,000 for something I didn't say. I didn't even call. They called them out for that, and the response was, "Fine me again for something that's not even a violation, without even rescinding the first one. Where's the accountability? Just respect the players." Cold world. According to Mixon's agent, Mixon was initially fined for saying, "Why play the game if every 50-50 call goes with the Chiefs? These officials are trash and biased." Mixon didn't say this. It was actually former NFL wide receiver and your teammate, TJ Hushmanzada, because he got the caption, "Why play the game if 50-50 calls goes with the Chiefs? These officials are 4 trash cans and biased." What you thinking, Ocho?
Hey, TJ is one who's always been outspoken. One of the few, even when I played with him, he let the ref know it. If it's a bad call, if it's holding, if it's offsides, if it's anything, he in the ref face. Hey, I ain't never seen nobody talk to the ref like that. I'm talking about he's in the ref's face. So I know when it comes to now being on the opposite side of the media, he gonna tell it like it is, and he's gonna say exactly what's going on and tell you how you feel. Now, Joe's been fine before, so you got to know better. You got to know better. Anything you say, especially criticizing NFL officials or anyone on the opposite side that had nothing to do with players, they coming for you.
Oh yeah,
They come the
hey,
same.
look here. That done got me so much. Me and AG, because AG is a little younger than I am. But
Right.
AG used to have his pants above his knees and have his socks,
Hmm.
bro. And I might come out there, Ocho, and I got my pants pulled down and my socks. But if
Hmm.
somebody tackle me, Ocho, I'm not finna be standing there, pulling my
Pull
socks
up
up and
everything.
pulling my pants down, bro. Come on now, I'm playing a game.
Listen.
Well, 80 for sharp. You gotta. I said, bro, I
Mhm.
got tackled. The
It's a.
man tackled me.
It got to a point, when I played, you probably wouldn't remember. People in the chat that have watched me throughout the years, depending on the color jersey we wore, I would change my chin strap, huh?
Yeah.
Sometimes I have a black chin strap, sometimes I have an orange chin strap, and I would wear the orange shoes. You
Right.
want to do that. Remember, everybody's shoes had to match even back then. Everybody
Oh
had
yeah.
had the same color scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I go. So I would take the fine. I would take the fine, and then it got to a point like year 6 or 7, they would call down to David Fulcher. Remember David Fulcher?
Yeah, no fool. Yeah, I
Yeah,
played against him. He
yeah,
33 with the Bengals. Yeah, I played
yeah.
against fool.
Fulcher was our what do you call the guy that comes out and
He was the what the
I don't know the right name.
uniform guy. Uniform guy.
The uniform guy. So listen, he would tell me during pregame, he'd say, "Listen, Ocho, now
They looking at you.
they looking at you. You're not supposed to have that. I take the towel, I take the stream, I cut the towel and have a
Yep.
long streamer hanging." He
Yep.
said, "No, that's not NFL issue. They gonna get you for that streamer." I say, "Folks, man, y'all might as well go ahead and find me now, cause I'm
Mm-hmm.
finna wear this towel and these orange piece and orange chin strap. I'm finna wear that too." Man, it got to the point in year 6 or 7, the league office would call in the middle of the game and say, "I will be removed from the game unless I take those shoes off, unless I
Yep.
take that stream
They
off,
sure would.
and I put on the right chin strap." I'm like, "What the
Yep.
hell?
Oh
This is
yeah.
what we got. This is what we got to."
Oh yeah. They made me Ocho because I had patent leather shoes. So the shoes was like white, blue, and orange.
Oh, the
Well, you could only
Reebok,
have two
the
colors.
Reebok,
You could only have two colors. So they
right?
made me cover up one of the colors. So you can cover, I don't care what color it is, but you're gonna cover up one of them. I'm like, I just want to know what is I say the shoe, I say everything matches. Y'all
Right.
make it seem like I got on a blue and orange uniform and I got on a red pair of cleats or something.
Yeah.
I said, come on, guys. It's like, hey, Sharp, I don't make the rules, I just work here.
Yeah.
And I used to have I had a blue chin strap. So that
Right.
rule was implemented after I left Ocho because I had a blue chin strap basically my entire career.
Right.
And if you go back and look, my chin strap, I never buttoned my full chin strap. It was
Hey,
never all.
I always kept mine hanging on the right one hanging. Listen. I saw Prime do it, so I did it on often. That's why my helmet always flying off. I
Yep.
never buttoned the last one.
Both of mine was hanging. They're like, button that chin strap. I was like, no, something bad gonna happen. I button this chin strap and something bad gonna happen. I'm gonna swing on you, official. I'm superstitious as hell. Something bad happened to me. Oh, I'm gonna bust you in your face. Ocho, check this out.
Yeah.
Cam Jordan says sacks are an overrated stat. Some believe he's talking about TJ Watt. Do you agree that sacks are an overrated stat?
No, I'm definitely not an overrated sack. I mean, they keep track of sacks for a reason. Sacks, they change the momentum of a game. They change the momentum of a drive. I mean, they're important. They're
All I
important.
know is that,
Hey, you make your money off of sacks.
well, if they overrated, I mean, they paying Myles Garrett and TJ Watt
A
and
whole
Nick
lot of money.
Bosa. They paying and now Michael Parsons. So
Yeah.
overrated. They about to pay a boatload of money.
For overrated.
Joey Bosa also. Khalil
Yeah.
Mack at one point in time. Von Miller was the highest paid defensive player at one point in time.
Mhm. Yeah,
Nah, I don't think that's an overrated stat. It's
At
not
all.
overrated.
At all.
What do you think the most overrated stat is, though?
The most overrated stat. Damn, that's a great question.
It really is, Ocho.
That's a great question because you have to understand how are the stats overrated when the stats are used based on how you're supposed to get paid. You need the
Yeah.
stat. You
Yeah.
need that because with the stats, you're able to command a certain amount of money. You're warranted a certain amount of money based on the stats. This is a stat-based game.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's an overrated stat because punts inside the 20, that means you're putting them down deep into their own territory.
Yeah.
That means they have to drive further to get to the
Mhm.
end zone or get into field goal range. So I
And guess
like
what?
that stat. Field goal percentage. Obviously, you want somebody that got a high field goal percentage. You
You
want
get
somebody
paid for
making
that.
90% of the kicks. Completion percentage. You want someone with a high completion percentage.
Yeah, they pay
I,
for that too.
yes.
They pay for every stat. And the better you are statistically in different categories, the more money you can command.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think there's an overrated stat.
Nah. Mm-mm. Chat, what y'all think?
I'm trying to think. Pass breakups. I mean, I don't know. Guess because pass breakups just tell me you can't catch. That's all.
Or listen, if you can't catch, you're always in position to make a play.
Yeah, because a lot of times I saw. Hold on, who did I see? Oh, that was McDuffie last week
Trent
when
Baalke?
CJ was late with the out route and he
Oh yeah.
jumped it
Oh
and
yeah, hit him right
he
in the
knocked
hand.
it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like,
hit him
bro,
right in
that's
the
to
hand.
the house.
Yeah. Oh, the one on Nico Collins.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ocho, that's to the house.
Yeah, I remember that play.
That's got to be a house call. I mean, sometimes passing yards, Ocho, because I look at it sometimes. There have been some times that I ain't gonna call no names. I ain't gonna get into it. Where I
Right.
call empty calories. You down 30 late in the ball game, and you still throw it, and you end up with 300 yards.
Ah.
Nah, bro. Nah, because when you was down at the start of this 30, you had 142 yards.
Uh-huh.
That other 158 you got, that
That,
don't mean nothing. Them empty calories.
that was in garbage time.
Yeah. I hate that. I hate quarterbacks and guy receivers, anybody. Bro,
Right.
you down by 30 points, get your ass out the game.
What they call it? Stat padding? Stat padding?
Yes.
Stat
I call it empty calories. Because you know what I'm saying, you ain't no nutritional value in anything
Right.
that you doing.
Right.
Now it's gonna look good at the end of the year. Oh,
at
he
this point
passed
in
for
the game.
4,300 yards. Yeah, but 1,500 of them was in garbage time.
I like that.
Jags fired GM Trent Baalke after their 3 top head coach targets said no. Former Lions OC Ben Johnson, nah. Bucks OC Liam Cohen, nah. He re-signed with Tampa. Aaron Glenn didn't even want to interview in person. Remember that interview Ocho with Shad Khan said a few weeks ago he would make a change if with Baalke on the call if they could show him it would be beneficial. Guess what? It's too late.
Too late.
You too late. Ben Johnson say, nah, I'm good. Liam Cohen says, you know what? I would rather go back and be the OC. He got a pay raise, but it ain't what he'd have been making as a head coach. And Aaron G say, AG said, nah, I'm good. I don't even want to go down there.
Yeah, I wonder why you think it's because of Baalke in general.
Yes.
I mean, listen, I look at it as a head coach. I'm not a head coach. It is Trevor Lawrence was injured most of the season last year, but I think a coach, an offensive minded coach, can do some work with bro. He's good. He's good. Yeah. I think mentally he's not where he should be. His confidence might be shot a little bit, but he's really good. And if he gets the right coach around him, and you already got that stud out there receiving number 7 and Brian Thomas Jr. There's no reason. There's no reason. You got Travis Etienne and
I like Evan Ingram.
Yeah, we got Evan Ingram. There's no reason why you shouldn't be making stuff shake in that AFC South, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
In that AFC South, man. So I'm hoping, Shad Khan is able to find not just any coach, but a coach that's offensive minded to get them boys together down there in Jacksonville, because they got some talent, man, especially offensively.
Well, good luck with that. But like I said, it seems like a little bit too late because the guys now look, sometimes your first option, your second option, okay, you wanted them, but sometimes you land on the right guy.
Right.
But I can assure you, there's a reason why you wanted to have Liam Cohen come back in for a second interview, because you really like what he said the first time around.
Oh, yeah.
But he said, nah, I'm good. I don't know why if you fired Doug Peterson, you kept Trent Baalke. Nobody want to work with him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's overstayed his welcome.
Yes.
He's overstayed
But
his
see
welcome.
that. But see, when you get owners that don't know what the hell they doing, this is what you get. Who do you like for that job now, Ocho?
I mean, who else is out there? It's not about who I like. Who else is out there that will even want to go to Jacksonville now at this point? I mean, that's the question at hand.
Yeah, you're right. I don't. I'm trying to think who's available. Cliff Kingsbury.
That would be a good one. That would be a good one for Trevor Lawrence. But
Yes.
I mean, I don't see Klingberg wanting to go there as well. It's not enough to work with.
We got a quarterback and he got Brian Thomas Jr.
That's not enough to work with.
And he got ATN. And he got another guy. He got another running back. What's that other running back, chat? That really filled in because ATN went down this year. I forget his name. But he ran pretty good. Yeah, Baalke, I mean, look, when they hired Urban, that was a disaster. You got Joe Brady, you got Todd Monken. Somebody go say, look, it's a but 32 of them in the damn world.
Yeah, it ain't that many.
So it ain't like, you know what I'm saying, Ocho? It ain't like,
Right.
I go get no. Oh, Tank Bigsby. That's his name, Tank Bigsby. Todd Monken is I'm sure, he'd get a call now. Joe Brady, he can't talk until after this week. So after they play Sunday, there's a lapse in between. So anytime there's a lapse in between games, you can talk. So that's gonna be interesting.
Maybe you can go coach the Jaguars. What you think?
Who?
If they call
Man,
you,
please. They ain't got my number.
I can see you as a head coach though.
You can't see that. Well, if you can see that, I need to get you some glasses.
I got them on. I'm just saying, listen, you know the game, you know the knowledge of the game. You can bring in your own, you can bring your own staff.
I don't want no staff. I like working with you. Coaching you is enough. you be frying my nerves, let alone 45 more like you. Oh no. Nah. I was stay right here. I will stay right here. I kind of like this. I got me a good little gig right here.
Yeah.
Got me a nice little co-host. So I'm good. I don't want no part of coaching.
All right. Because if you decide to go, I'll go with you now.
No. I don't want to. I like this. This keeps us close to the game. We get to talk about the game. We can still go to the games if we wanted to without having to do that monotony, that grind, that ain't no 9 to 5 for a coach. That 6 to 12, that 6 to 10, that 6 to midnight. Sunday night, well, when you get back Sunday, a lot of times you start that breaking down film. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you do get to go home a little early on Thursday. Sometimes you probably go home around 9 o'clock. Nah, I'm good. I don't want no effing part of that. Ocho, the Eagles are selling snow from their playoff win. They boxed up the snow, put it in they put it in a little container, and you can buy it. I think it's $9.99, $7.99. Is that too much, Ocho?
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much because you listen, for one, the fans, Philadelphia, the culture in general, they should be used to winning by now. We're having the snow, and there's no point because we'll be in contention every year. You're gonna be in contention every year. Jeffrey Lurie and everyone else who is responsible for putting that team together, they're always going to be in contention because those that are at the top know what the hell they're goddamn doing.
Oh, Ocho, they're selling it for $50.
The snow?
$50.
Man, no, man. I mean, it's cool, but it's no point. There's no point. Y'all gonna be back in the NFC Championship again.
And back to that, Robert Saleh is available also. But I think he's going to interview. He's interviewing somewhere for a DC job.
Yeah, defensive coordinator job.
Maybe San Francisco, but I heard it was, I forget where it was.
It was San Francisco. They were going to make him the highest paid defensive coordinator.
Okay. Coach Belichick says he doesn't like the rule that allows coordinators to interview before the postseason end, saying it's a distraction to the team trying to win a Super Bowl. Ocho, do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. I like it. I like it. But this is the scary part. I'm not scary part. But obviously, it does take away I think it does take away from them focusing on the game at hand and the task at hand, which is obviously trying to get to the Super Bowl. I understand what he's saying, especially coming from someone as decorated as Bill Belichick. I think if there was any point or any time that people on his staff were wanted to be interviewed, they would have to wait until after they won the Super Bowl. So I kind of get it. But during that cycle of coaches being available,
I don't think they waited, Ocho.
you got to be careful. You got to be careful because what if somebody takes that job and you don't
exactly. You punishing the guy for being successful, saying he can't interview. Teams don't want to wait no 3 weeks. Teams don't want to wait no month.
Right.
So the playoffs, because the playoffs were what, the first week of started the first week of January. So you got the wild card, divisional, you got the championship game, you got the week in between, and then you got the Super Bowl. So Ocho, I got to wait a month and a half.
Yeah, they. I mean, listen.
Oh no, Coach, you out your mind.
Yeah, owners and GMs want to get the ball rolling. They want to get the ball rolling and knowing who their next head coach is going to be, so they can start the process of doing everything they need to do. I understand what Bill is saying, but that's not the way the business side of things work.
But Robert Saleh, let me see what Robert Saleh is doing. Because I know what you call him. I think what you call him wanted to interview him too. Dan Campbell.
That would be a nice look. That would be a nice look, especially with the Lions getting everybody back healthy next year. That'd be nice.
Yeah, everybody would. They said Robert Saleh, he'd be an interesting candidate down in Jacksonville. Head coaching experience, defensive minded head coach. Talk about most coaches. I mean, if you've been a head coach, Ocho, you kind of want to be a head coach. Now, sometimes you're a head coach and you got to take a lesser role. But if somebody gonna give me an opportunity to be a head coach again, I'm taking that as opposed to going to be a DC.
Right. Absolutely. Well, wait a minute. Now it depends on what that money looking like. Now, if they paying you more to be a DC and bringing you in because that's your specialty, then I'm going to be that DC.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if he's in Jacksonville. I mean, the highest paid coordinator probably making $3 to $4 million.
No, Spags just got paid, huh?
How much Spags make? $5 million?
Yeah, I know it's more than goddamn 3, 4.
Steve Spagnuolo, defensive coordinator, is estimated to earn around $3.5 million in 2025.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. Well, Andy Reid gonna have to see me, or the Hunt's gonna have to see me, or something. Especially if we win again.
Oh, and then maybe Spags is in contention to be the Jags head coach. Has Spags ever been a head coach, Ocho?
Wait. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Neither.
I don't know. I'm telling you, man. You put it out and manifest it now. Manifest it. Because I know, look at Shannon Sharpe, head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You could pick your staff right now.
Hey, somebody try to make a move for him. Make pick what staff? I picked my staff.
Yeah, who would your staff be?
Ash, Jordan, CJ, Nikki. Oh yeah, he was the head coach of the Rams, 2009 to 2011.
Okay.
Damn, I ain't no Spag's only 5'7". Hey, all I know, hey, he called a defense.
That he can do.
All right, Ocho, it's time for our last segment of the evening. It's time for Q and A. Dante said, if the Chiefs get refs called that go their way, so do the Bills. But nobody wants to talk about that. You might not get all the calls in a game, but if you look at it over the course of the year, they balance out.
Yeah.
You get something to go for you. It's hard for me to believe that over a 17-game season, all the calls go against you. I promise you, some of the teams that you played against think you got a lot more calls than they got, or a lot more calls than what you deserve. Omar B said, as a Chief fan, thank you, Unc, for pointing this BS narrative out about getting calls. They hating, like you say, lie repeated. People believe. Ocho, thank you for correcting yourself. Love from Australia.
Yeah, yeah, and I saw some people calling it hate and one thing, and it's obviously coming from me. You know, I love everybody. Always always spread joy, especially the players and teams. I never really talk bad about anybody. I do have a difference in opinion than most, and I just see small stuff, you know, with Mahomes and Mahomes, you know, taking advantage of some of the calls, understanding that he can get the calls. You know, it's just a sliding late and refusing to go out of bounds right away, and instead of pretending like he's going out of bounds, but cutting up field and going for more yards because he knows defenders aren't trying or going to hit him. So I mean, just
I'm
small.
blasted it. His ass in bounds, I'm blasted. I'm knocking hell out of him.
Yeah, as long as you're ready for that fine that coming behind it.
If he don't go down and he in bounds, you give him the Cam Newton treatment.
Hey, boy, they would like, boy, they used to light Cam up, boy, and
Hey.
they didn't call the calls on Cam because of his size.
Oh, nah. You're right.
Yeah.
Nah, Ulbrich went to Atlanta. He was on the staff with Raheem when he was in Atlanta with DQ. So Ulbrich, the interim coach at the Jets, he went back to Atlanta with Raheem. Isaiah Lancaster, Unc Ocho, if Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl, what would rank him ahead of Burrow and Lamar as the second best quarterback behind Mahomes? And Unc, do you think Tatum and Brown will become all-time great duo? For me, Mahomes would be number one. I would still take Lamar. But Josh Allen would be 3 for me.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about like Lamar, Joe, Lamar would be 2, Joe and Josh would be 3, 4. I would probably bump, because if he went to the Super Bowl, I'll probably bump Josh down. Bump Joe down, because Josh has been in the playoffs basically every year for the last 4 or 5 years, Ocho. And the one thing you can say about him, that joker durable.
Yeah.
That joker he suit up, and and he runs a lot, Ocho.
Yeah,
So
he
he's
hit a lot.
hell yeah. But the same thing with him. If he running, I'm putting hats on him.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Now that's a big man, boy. I don't know what kind of hat I don't know what kind of hat you gonna have, but you better bring it.
I tell you what,
dude,
you give me enough swings, I'll chop down a redwood with an axe. Give me enough swings on it, I'll chop his big ass down. This one thing we know about the NFL. You ain't never seen nobody too big to get broken down.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right about that. You're right about that.
Hey, they hit hard out there. The question, do you think Tatum and Brown become an all-time great duo? They need to win a couple more championships. The great duos, we think Shaq and Kobe, we think Kareem and Magic, we think Bird and Parrish. Bird Parrish or Bird McHale, however you want to look at it. You look at D Wade and LeBron. You look at Pippen and Jordan. You got to win multiple championships. You got to sustain this and you look, they won. They got one.
Right.
Got to get a couple more. Got to get a couple more. But yes, they can become an all-time great duo. Dr. Frank L. Bellamy, I'm loving the different colored lights in the background. It's like your camera view got a VIP pass to a club. Man, that's man. Jordan think he's some damn club promoter. Man, this dude here, man. He like, he talking about, boss, what you think about the lights flash? I said, man, you get that inch off my camera and get we ain't at no disco, man. But yeah, man, that's Doc, that's Jordan's idea. Aaron Owens says, if the 98 Broncos played in today's games, how good would they be? You see Saquon? You see Derrick Henry? Y'all do realize TD rushed for 2008 with 23 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
I had double-digit touchdowns. Ed had double-digit receiving touchdowns. Rod was our leading receiver. Oh, we'll be okay. We'll be all right. Yeah, we'd be okay. We real nice. They would say, hey, they said them 98 Broncos be real saucy.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, you talking about all right.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, so what you gonna do? I mean, the question is, you taking Jalen Hurts or you taking John Elway?
John?
Okay. Look, Devontae and AJ and Goddard, they nice. They not see me, Ed, and Rod. That ain't happening.
Yeah, y'all was different. Y'all was different.
And our offensive line was just as good. I promise you. Now, I believe our 97 line was better than our 98 line because we had Zim at left tackle. We had T-Bone rested so at right tackle. We had Stink at left guard. We had Tommy Nail at center. And we had Dan Neal. So we had what? Hell, we might have put like 8-9 guys in the Pro Bowl that year. Me, John, TD, Bone, Stink, Nayland, Atwater, Niels. Yeah, we took about 8 guys. We be all right. We be all right, Aaron. Kimber Norwood Jr. said, my question is, what is the best World Series matchup in MLB history? Woo-wee. Man, this thing go back. I mean, obviously, I think anything that goes to Game 7, the 60 championship, the walk-off Bill Mazeroski in the bottom of the ninth, Game 7 hit a walk-off against the Yankees. I'm trying to think, what year was that? Was that 90? Was that 91? That the Twins and the Braves, Kirby Puckett made that great catch and then hit a walk-off in Game 6, and then they won 1-0, I think, in Game 7. Oh, the Yankees and the Diamondbacks when Gonzalez hit that broken bat single off Mo Rivera. Man, it's been some good ones, Kemper. It's been some really good matchups. I mean, those are the ones off the top of my head. Now, you start going back too far, I wouldn't have lied then. Somebody said the Cubs. Well, the Cubs winning after 100 and how many years? 108 years? 108, 1908 was the last one because that was the Black Sox scandal. So, yeah. I don't know if I think it was just sentimental. Harry Potter said, what do you think about the Raiders getting John Spytek? I think that's the general manager from somewhere. I think that's what it is. No, I'll ask me when they get a quarterback, what I think. That's what they need.
John Spytek, he went there to be what?
I think he's a general manager.
Oh, okay.
I think he's a general manager from Tampa. And so maybe Tom has some familiarity with him.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Because I think he might have been under Jason Light, who brought Tom to Tampa.
Right.
AJ Zamora said, "Sup, Unc Ocho, with all the when you all coming to Texas again. Also, who do you see winning Super Bowl first? Josh, Lamar, or Joe B?" Josh got the best chance because he's the only one still playing.
Yeah.
Who you like Ocho to win the first Super Bowl? Josh, Lamar, or Joey?
Man, listen. Honestly, if Josh can get by them damn Chiefs on Sunday, if the Bills
like his chance.
if they can get by, it's not likely. based on the history of the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes in games like this, where it matters most, and you just got to have it. But if Josh can, for some godforsaken reason, get by the Chiefs this Sunday, I got the Bills winning the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And that's a big if. Now, the
Yes.
task at hand is beating the Chiefs. That's the
Yes.
hard part.
Yes. Yes. JTT said if I had to choose an overrated stat, I'd say passing yards. You can get a lot of yards and not score. Screen passing yards are credited to the quarterback. True. I mean, because we look at that play that Jaden Daniels hit Terry McLaurin. He threw a pass in the flat. TJ McLaurin, Terry McLaurin split the D. And guess what, Ocho?
Yeah.
Oh, Jaden Daniels had a 60-yard touchdown. No, Jaden Daniels had a 1-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
What you call him had a 59-yard touchdown, Terry McLaurin. But you know, I can see that. But my thing is that late passing yards, Ocho. You down 21 points.
You got no choice but to throw. You got to
nothing but to throw, and the defense just giving up yards. They don't want to give anything cheap or deep. And the next thing you know, you got a bunch of yards, and you like, man, this game was close. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Patterson Yazzie said, Nightcap is my birthday. I'm 24. I celebrated running 14 miles, lifting weights, eating a steak. You guys are my inspiration. Can I get a shout out? Any advice for a young man like me? I didn't get to shake the cover. Damn, Yazzie. Happy birthday. Boy, you did a lot that day. 14 miles. Yeah, had to take you a couple of hours, lifting weights, ate a steak. You got a lot done. Congratulations on all that. But all that not shake the covers, I don't know what the hell you doing.
You tripping, boy.
Yeah, man. I'd have shut the covers before I did that 14-mile run and lifted weights.
You talk about you want
they
some
probably
advice.
gave out on mile 3.
He said he wants some advice. The advice is go shake the goddamn covers. That's your advice right there.
But happy birthday. Ray Green. Send us, say love y'all. We're in the building. Ray, we appreciate that. Thank you for your support, guys. It's guys like you that like Ocho and I do this job. Make us feel appreciated.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, we try to do the best that we can as far as informing you guys and as far as about the game, educate you, entertain you. We try to do all that. And sometimes things deserves a little bit more education. Sometimes it deserves a little bit more information, and sometimes it deserves a little bit more education. But whatever the case may be, we try to give you that. So we appreciate that. Ray, we appreciate you. Casey Taylor said, Unc Ocho, I'm an East Coast. When I cannot watch live, I always ask Super Chat, which costs. Have y'all thought about reward system for Super Chat? No disrespect intended. I do have ideas if you would like them. Send us $50 and we'll listen to your ideas. Nah, Casey, I mean, we haven't thought about that. Maybe that's something that we take to the, we take that in consideration. Whatever we can do to try to make it interesting and get people to listen and like us. We take all comments and criticisms and concerns under consideration. So we'll absolutely look into that. That concludes this episode of Nightcap. I want to thank our very special guest, John Hope Bryant, for joining us. Y'all know me. I'm Unc Shannon Sharpe, the Liberty City legend, the Bingo Ring of Fame honoree, the Pro Bowler, the All-Pro. That's Chad Ochocinco Johnson. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that like button and go subscribe to the Nightcap Podcast feed, wherever you get your podcast from. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Not a whole lot of sports, not a big lead in, but you guys was here to support us, and we greatly appreciate that. Make sure you go subscribe. Make sure you go check out Shea by Laportier. We have it in stock. Let's celebrate the new year. We're off to a great start. What better way to celebrate than with a bottle of Shea by Laportier? We're in 14 states. If you can't find it in a city or state near you, order it online. We'll ship it directly to your door. The turnaround will be swift. And please drink responsibly. Go follow my media company page on all of its platforms, Shay Media. Make sure you tune in to Humble Baddies. It's live show tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. They're talking all about their new Netflix show, Wags to Riches, that premiered today. So make sure you check out Humble Baddies live show tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, my clothing company, 84 with 84 being spelled out. Our newest release just dropped last month. New t-shirts, sweats, beanies, koozies, and mugs. Quantities are limited, so please make sure you grab yours while supplies last. Tickets for the Super Bowl show. It's our first tour stop, spring tour stop, and it's in New Orleans, and the tickets are on sale now. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. Unfortunately, the VIP meet and greet tickets are officially sold out, but there are still many tickets left to attend the big show. And we got a very special surprise, so you might want to go ahead and jump on those tickets now. Trust me, we got a big surprise. You don't want to miss this. February the 6th in New Orleans at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. We got great guests lined up, but we got a big event, and I promise you, you won't want to miss it. Both Nightcap and Club Shay Shay are both nominated for NAACP Image Awards. Nightcap has been nominated for Outstanding Podcast in the Arts, Sports, and Entertainment. Club Shay Shay was nominated for Outstanding Podcast, Society, and Culture. Make sure y'all go check out that episode, the last episode I did with Cheryl Underwood. I promise you,
Boy,
it's almost 3.
boy, I was on the plane in tears.
Bad.
In tears.
Bad,
That
Cheryl.
was good.
Chad, if you do me a favor, I promise you, she did a stand-up routine for 2 hours, and her set with no comedian set will ever be this long. For almost 3 hours, she will have you non-stop laughing.
Yeah.
Please go vote for your guys, Unc and Ocho, and myself on Club Shay Shay. The link is pinned in our social bios. Again, thank you, John Hope Bryant, for joining us, giving us some financial information, some education, some tips how to become financially responsible and fiscally responsible. We really appreciate that. Hopefully, chat, you enjoyed it. And obviously, we're going to look to have guests on from time to time. We're not going to always talk about sports, but we're going to always try to give you some information to help you become a better person, better people, save some money, invest some money, but we're also going to do sports here. But we're going to educate you, entertain you, and inform you. So thank you for joining us for Nightcap. I'm Unc. He's Ocho. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, guys.
Yana.